Yo, yo. I'm out here at Flying Fox Fruits Farms. This is Adam. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know him. Today I think he's going to show us around a little bit, show some stuff that he's excited about growing, some stuff that he has fruiting here, and just talk a lot about some fruit trees, mainly Garcinia, Plinia, Eugenia, some stuff like that, but it's going to be a fun video.
Thanks for coming out. They do great work over here. Be sad to see them ever go anywhere else, but they want to go around and see the world.
Andrea's out here.
Yeah, it's warm right now. It's the winter time, but it's warm.
Yeah, it's like December 2nd or 3rd.
We've had frost by now, and right now it's like really hot.
Yeah.
80 something, would you say? 85 today?
It was definitely warm. But
yeah.
We'll walk around here and check some stuff out. Adam's cooking some food right now. He's got tons of stock.
Walk through and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Or whatever, however you want to do it. These are all just stock that we have been growing for years. All different types of jaboticabas. And we lay them on this mat like this. It's basically a liner of old plastic that was on the greenhouse. The greenhouse is when the hurricanes come get torn apart. I learned over the years to save that scrap plastic, and you lay it down, it creates an impermeable layer where like the nematodes don't come up, and it holds moisture, and the trees love it. It's really the difference between happiness and not happiness. The main thing too is the oak. You put them underneath an oak tree. It loves being under the oak tree for the shade and the warmth and all that, but the oak sends up these really aggressive feeder roots into the pot, and it'll choke the tree out. This stops that from happening.
Yeah. And so this is mainly a lot of jaboticaba stock here. Yeah. Most of this stuff is for sale on your website. Do you do wholesale at all?
Yeah, I do wholesale. Yep. And now I have a glut of stock. Usually the prices wouldn't be so low for trees this big, but every once in a while nurseries, like I'll go to Zill. I remember going there 10 years ago. You could get a 3-gallon grafted mango that was ready for a 25. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Or not a 3, I'm sorry, a 5-gallon or 7-gallon that was ready for like a 50-gallon.
So if somebody wanted to wholesale plants and they've never got in contact with you before, I'd probably say the best way is to buy plants from you online first and order plants and then message you with your order.
That's a great way. Or you can get on my live stream and harass me on my live streams on YouTube, on Instagram, in the comments. Be like, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I have it set up where I don't get messages on Instagram from random. It's kind of whatever. But yeah, just harass me a little bit. You'll get me.
Yeah, if you try hard enough, you'll get a hold of them for sure.
If you just send a random email, sometimes it gets missed. But I have been trying to check.
That's how I met Adam 2 years ago, or 2.5, 3 years ago. Was bought plants from him on eBay, and then the plants that I bought, I was like, hey, can I come pick them up? And
that's a great way.
That's how I got in.
And you always get a better deal if you can come pick up. The website now is set up where you can pay for local shipping. It's a penny, and then just come and you'll get a much better deal. Just buy like something that's cheap for local pickup, and then I'll give you extra stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll walk around a little bit more.
Yeah. You want me to keep talking?
Yeah.
This is a little shade house we built. These are great. You just take in these T-posts from Tractor Supply. They're metal. You can throw like a cup on top or something to stop it from ripping through. And you just wrap it with shade cloth and zip ties. And that's good to keep the animals out mainly.
Animals, and it's a shade house, and it's a little bit protected from the frost too, a little more.
It does protect from the frost, and you can wrap it with multiple layers of cloth and fabric to save it. Definitely. Yeah. That's what we'll do this year with this, is we'll crowd some stuff in here and protect it. Mostly seedlings.
We moved all his big anomalies that were in there today out.
Yeah. This is where I had some ponds with some fish and stuff. I pulled that out. And then these are all like hybrid grimmels and such. Just trees that I gotta sell these. They're great price too.
These are for sale on your website, right?
Everything is for sale, man.
Yeah, let's check out this foliage. Look how beautiful this foliage.
So many
kind of trunciflora.
Yeah, they all look like trunciflora, but they're not. Yeah, and then I have a bunch of weird if you do come to pick up in person and you shop around, you can find some weird trees that I don't quite know what they are, and I'll sell them. They're just, I don't know. They're somewhere between Pitanga and Pitanga and the Grimmel and who knows what.
Yeah, there's so much variation, it's insane.
This one is Pitanga branca. And it's basically just like the white jaboticaba, but it makes a bigger, better fruit. I'm thinking to plant it in that hole over there, Seth.
Where the pond used to be, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and this is Rosa de Pescos.
You have some of these in the ground fruiting, right? Is this one fruiting?
Huh?
Is this one fruiting?
It is. They fruit pretty fast. They've been making little fruits. I'm pretty sure this is another Rosa de Pescos. It's kind of boring. And then this is Sapucaia. I got plenty of these out. They've been real disappointing. This is a hybrid red and trunciflora. It makes a really pretty leaf. I've got it grafted in the ground. It's flowered, but it hasn't fruited yet.
So that's the Schatzer?
Nope.
Red and trunciflora, it's different genetics,
it's
huh?
It's from that same batch of Schatzer. I bet you the fruit's just like it. The tree just grows different.
Wow.
These are all just random seedlings I kept for looking really pretty and different, you know? I don't want to bore people too much. But this...
No, people love seeing the different jaboticaba foliage and just the potential that you can do in, like, the potential you have in container. Yeah, you can be anywhere growing this.
This is one I got from a guy named Oscar in Fruit Lovers Nursery in Hawaii. I ordered, I ordered some white jaboticaba seeds from him, and he sent me some seeds, and I planted them, and one came up looking different, and it turned out to be a Phytrantha. I wouldn't call it a hybrid, but it's an unusual Phytrantha. I named it Sanford after my grandfather, but it's a really strong tree, and it fruits a lot.
I love this tree, and from what I've seen, I have a couple of these seedlings, and they're a very strong tree. They take the heat really well.
And the cold.
Normally, the new growth will come out a little crinkled from the heat, but that one just pushes through, and all my other ones kind of get burnt.
Yeah, this is a grafted scarlet that's doing really well. It took a while to finally fruit, but it's going off. It's got
a lot of flowers on there, a lot of fruit.
Look at all of that up there.
Up top, and that's one of my favorites. For foliage, I love
weird looking Pitanga too, but it's never fruited, but it's flowered. Look at the foliage, all weird that is.
There's tons of Pitanga tubas out here too. It's crazy.
This tree's a real breadwinner for me. I love this tree. I shouldn't say breadwinner, but the fruit's awesome. It's a Otto Anderson Phytrantha.
And that's a really big tree.
It's flowering like crazy. I sell the fruit on it. It's got fruit set all on the bottom if you look.
Way over the roof. Yeah. There's tons of flowers up in there. Fruit set everywhere, flowering still.
This looks like maybe this could be a Grimmel Phytrantha hybrid, I think, but it looks really odd. Look at the leaf on it. It's like so freaking, it's so stiff and like it's somewhere between Phytrantha and Grimmel. That's what they look like.
Yo, we got to talk about these. These are some of my favorites right here.
Luke's Garcinias.
I got two big trees in the ground.
Yeah, these are mangosteen relative from Mexico. This guy named Luke Vlieracker kind of like picked them out and started to popularize them. It's a wild growing Garcinia. The fruit can get really big. You can eat the skin, and the skin tastes like jujube. The inside of the fruit tastes like mango, kind of with the texture of white sapote. Kind of, right?
Yeah, I must say out of all the Garcinias that I've tasted, I've had probably 12 or 13 varieties. This one is honestly my favorite. The fruit was big, the flesh was really good, and the skin is exactly like you said, a jujube.
Like an apple, like a crunchy apple. You can eat it. It's got a kind of a thick skin, and you can eat it.
And you got a nice big cold frame around it, right? You're gonna wrap that with frost cloth.
Yep.
To protect these two nice trees.
Yep, they're sensitive to the cold. This is probably just from like one night of cold maybe, or maybe it was heat damage, but I see a little dieback. I should really prune it with a pruning shears, but they're really strong trees. You will kill them though if the temp goes like below 28, I bet would kill it. 30 will really mess it up.
And look at that new growth too.
That one's really pretty. That's just one of my favorite ones. I graft a lot from that.
Look at that thing. It is going crazy. It's like a Christmas tree. It's beautiful.
You only need one to get fruit. Look at all the flowers coming right here. Look at this picture. That's a great picture. Look at that.
Oh, look at those.
Those are female flowers.
I never knew they had the colors.
Yeah, it's androgynous flowers.
Wow. Yeah.
Male and female.
He sells these on eBay quite often. He's got them
grafted onto lemon drop mangosteen.
Yep. And that is honestly one of the coolest Garcinias, in my opinion, that I've tasted so far.
It's a good one. That's a Cambuca. One of the biggest Plinias on my property is Cambuca. I don't know how old it is. Maybe 20 by now. Maybe older.
How tall you think that is? 20 foot, right?
Not quite 20. Probably, It looks like got 10 foot. It's about 15, 16 feet.
Let me show off this trunk right here. Look at this trunk. Massive.
That's big enough to climb in.
Uh-huh.
And then behind it, I've got a really rare tree, Myrciaria glomerata. It's got flowers on it. You might not be able to see. But this is actually, I was the first person to fruit this in the United States, I'm sure. It's really hard to grow, but it's fruiting now.
Really beautiful tree, and it flowered pretty quick, right?
No, took about 7 years. It's really hard to get started. I almost killed it for the first year, and then as it got older, it gets stronger.
We're getting attacked by mosquitoes in here. We gotta move out.
Carambola, plain tongue, the original, not a seedling, it's original grafted. Pretty good.
Right here's my favorite. Flying tongue. This is my favorite carambola variety for sure.
More cambucas.
He said he's got some more cambucas right here. Some really big trees.
Lemon drop mangosteen. This one got hit really bad by the cold and died to the ground, and it came back. This is like a year worth of growth. So if you have a solid root system, they'll put on about 1.5 feet. I mean, look.
So you're saying that one died to the ground?
Yeah, look, it's all green. Look, green growth, 1 year. From right here, look, right here is where it died back to, right here. And this shoot all happened in 1 year. That's 2 feet. That's all you get, though. And this is a great growing conditions for them. They love it real wet, saturated, you know?
There's a big one.
Showstopper.
Oh, yeah.
Myrciaria strigipes. It's fruited quite a bit. The problem with this tree is that kind of too big to keep in a pot. It handles the cold pretty well, but it always flowers right into the winter. And there's fruit left over that make it through the cold. They're usually deep in the canopy. They're really hard to see. It doesn't make a ton of fruit.
Growth.
It's died back. This thing used to be bigger than this, and it died back, and now it looks exactly the same as it did before it died back.
Yeah, it's got a really low bushy shape to it, but those flowers are beautiful. And I was lucky enough to find one of these one time and taste it.
Yeah.
And I gotta say it was really good,
Like
for sure.
Citrusy.
The fruit was small, but it was really good.
Small seeds, thin skin.
Mhm.
It's got to be covered for the winter. This is a close relative called Myrciaria glomerata, and it's Guaquia.
Guaquiea.
Guaquia.
And there's a blue guaquiea too, right?
Yeah, it's flowering like
Yeah,
crazy.
check this out.
I'm sure they could hybridize. I've got the yellow Jaboticaba around here too, the Guazioviana.
Look at this new growth, fuzzy, super beautiful.
Pitanga tuba coming through the cave.
This is his best Pitanga tuba bush right here.
Pretty good.
It's just a clump of Pitanga tubas you planted all together, right?
No, it's actually one tree. Sour.
A little early.
Still a little bit better than nothing.
But I swear, every time I come out here, this tree always has fruit. It's insane.
It likes to be protected.
You see some in there, some more up there. Like every single day, this tree has fruit. It's crazy.
Imbe. It's fruited before by itself, but it doesn't make a lot of fruit. I got it from Larry Schatzer, and he got it from Grimmel.
This is probably my third favorite Garcinia right here, the Embe. And this is a seedling or grafted?
Seedling.
It's massive.
Grimmel, there used to be really nice Grimmels here. They got hit by the cold, died back to the ground, but they're coming back. I mean, some of them made it really well. Actually, beetles is what damaged them. These beetles came and got in the wood. But it didn't totally kill it.
These trees in the middle still look really good. Big, massive Grimmel Jaboticaba tree.
Put together the shade house for the reds. I don't know if you want to go in there, but bunch of red Jaboticabas in there, nothing special.
We got video last time we were out here picking the fruit. We'll show off the red grove for sure, but ripe fruit and flowers all at the same time. Multiple times. Look at that. That's the trunk on that thing. Beautiful. Covered in flowers and new growth. Picking some red hybrid fruits out in Adams Grove.
Only the really dark ones.
We're also collecting any seeds that we can find on the ground. There's been some bunny rabbits and probably some squirrels coming in here and munching on these fruits. Most of the time they'll leave the seed. But just about all these trees have fruit. He's got them out here planted like an orchard or a grove. Tree, tree, tree. Planted every maybe 6 foot, 7 foot apart. And they just all got fruit and flowers. See these? You can always pop these off. Suckers. So, one flower can turn into that right there. Crazy. That's a nice shade house. He's got net over top of it too. And those trees are gonna be way happier now in that shade.
It's like 50 by 50 and it cost a little under 5,000 to make it, I think.
Yeah.
It was like, I forget how much. It costed quite a bit.
It's really impressive in there though, and it kind of keeps the animals out. He's gonna have more fruit, and the trees are gonna be a lot happier in that shade.
There's not too much over there that I care about. I mean, but
This one right here.
I love this.
This is one of my favorite ones too. Almost every time me and Andrea come out here, we eat off of it. He's got multiple of these around the property. This is the Zill Dark Pitanga.
2 over there.
And these are honestly underrated in my opinion. I love these cherries. But I could understand you got to acquire a taste for them. Some people like them, but
I love them.
some people need to acquire a taste.
I could eat 50 of
I
those.
forgot I even had this Pitanga tuber here.
Wow.
There's Pitanga tubers just popping all over the
They
place.
really don't like to grow just out in the open here because it's too cold. But they really like to grow on the peripherals, like next to the house or next to the tree in the shade.
And that was just a volunteer plant, huh? Where did you plant
I
it?
planted it there.
Did you?
Yeah.
You've definitely got a couple volunteers around here though that are fruiting now, huh?
Oh, all over, yeah.
Yeah.
They just do a little better if you put it next to something and not just out in the open by itself. You know what I'm saying? All the ones that I have out in the open by itself, it was just too hot here. And too wet. It's too wet. They don't like wet feet.
Homie's got the chickens.
Yeah, they're good chickens.
They're all already put up for bed. It's getting
Variegated.
pretty dark.
Variegated grumachoma.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. You got to get some root stocks and graft some, huh?
I sold one for like 600 or 700. They're hard to graft, kind of, not really, but.
Yeah.
Bactris setosa, it's got more fat in it, they say, than a coconut. You can eat the seed kernel when they're green and full size. Pretty good. And the fruit just tastes like a sour apple. Like it looks like a jaboticaba, and it's got a thin layer of flesh you can eat.
Kind of like the snake fruit, got a lot of thorns in it. I just found one in my foot.
They're the worst. These are all just different jabos hybrids. This is a Grimmel Sabra hybrid that's really good.
Grimmel Sabra hybrid.
And then another Luke's that's grafted onto eBay. Luke's Garcinia. It made it through the cold with no protection, but it was protected, you know, surrounded by all the other plants.
We're in here surrounded by awapui, right?
Aframomum.
Aframomum.
Yeah.
There is some awapui around too. Aframomum is also called the grains of paradise,
Look
right?
at variegated Maha Chinook. The pattern's holding up really well. It's coming up.
Check that out. A variegated mango seedling, right?
Yeah, seedling. I just got lucky. I grafted from it, and I got to take. So there's all sorts of stuff. Another Jabo. I don't know. Let's take a picture at the hybrid. Maybe.
That one's got a really interesting shape. It's growing low to the ground.
Red Coronata. This is the Coronata type right here. Mosquitoes everywhere. Spider.
Got to keep moving to keep the mosquitoes off you. We would never be able to go over all these different trees out here. It would take literally hours and hours. We're just doing a walkthrough. Talking a little bit about.
These are some special grumachamas. They call it like erythrocarpa, a red type. It's supposed to be hard to find, but they got hit by the cold and came back really nice. They're strong. And then my big yellow grumachama.
Oh,
really
that's
big. It's really strong.
like my favorite.
It was covered in ice and fell, like got laid all the way down to the ground. It was totally covered in ice and it didn't get hurt really at all.
I love that one.
Yeah.
It's a big tree too.
Big ass tree. The fruit's really good on that.
Yeah, I must say the yellow grumachama is one of my favorite Eugenias, but even just the regular Brasiliensis is really good.
That's the RDP that's fruiting in the ground. I'm going to walk this way to avoid the stickies.
See, check that out. He's got some awapui right there. Shampoo ginger.
There's bald eagles flying around everywhere.
I just heard him.
Yeah. This is that one that I told you that was a Sabra red, Trunciflora red hybrid. That's a grafted one.
It almost looks like the Kimber, kind of.
It looks like the Schatzers rather. This is kind of cool.
We're heading over to the greenhouse.
This is Garcinia's anthichimus. Got some fruit on it. It took a long time. Took a good 15 years or more to flower fruit. But the first flowers that made health fruit.
Big black sapote.
There's one that got eaten on the ground. Yeah, black sapote. I sold fruit off of that this year and did pretty well.
Trunciflora.
Marulas are 20 feet tall. Marula from Africa. They make a drink out of it called amarula. I heard you need a male and female. That's the the red fruit. That's
Aleagnus?
yeah, Aleagnus latifolia. It's sour but good.
I love Aleagnus.
It looks like a peanut butter fruit and kind of has a little bit of the same texture, soft skin, and whenever you bite into it, it's really good. It's more sour, kind of acidic. I like it a lot. I was impressed when I ate it. Was not expecting it to taste good.
We just moved a bunch of the stuff. We just moved a bunch of stuff in the greenhouse. And these are all just a bunch of rare Jaboticabas and Garcinias. This is one from Jim West. He just called it a squat Garcinia. It looks a lot like Garcinia acuminata or the Madrono and the Caracuela, whatever they call it. It's like a bumpy lemon. But this is different. And I got some of these grafted that I'm going to sell soon. You know, I got all the anomalies in here.
Oh, let's take a look at these anomalies. This is such a cool Jaboticaba.
Get a shot of over here.
We'll show them a couple so they can see how it looks on all of them. That bark is all gnarled up.
Look at the trunk of this is about to flower like crazy.
These are all grafted ones onto Sabra. Look at those flowers coming.
All the way up too.
Yeah.
And then this is another one over here. They're all over.
This is amazing. This is one of my favorite Jaboticabas for sure, just because how the bark looks, how fast it fruits, and the skin is really, really thin on this one. You can just eat the skin. I like it.
There's some grafted Garcinias over there too.
These are really cool trees. So how long ago did you graft this one right here in like this 20 gallon?
I bet you 7 years.
7 years, and it's only that big. It can be grown in a pot for a lot longer.
It grows like 3 times as fast as a grafted.
Yeah, whenever you graft it, it grows really fast, huh?
Yep.
The Sabra rootstock makes it shoot up.
Yep, it's like a filter.
new grow area there whenever he's ready.
Dragonfly. There's more trees, all sorts of rare stuff.
Tons of different varieties of Jaboticaba in
I've
here.
actually got to move one. This one too. When it gets cold, this ain't gonna like it. This is a rare Plinia. It's called Yasuni from Jim West. I've only got one. It's really hard to grow.
Wow, that's a beautiful little bushy tree.
It's a real pain in the ass to keep alive.
And is it a Myrciaria or a Plinia?
Called it a Plinia.
Really?
We'll find out. I think it is a Myrciaria though, like you're saying, probably.
How old is it?
Old, man. It's like 8 years old. 8 years old. I should be talking to the camera.
Beautiful.
There's some flowers on these Eugenia matosii.
That's an awesome looking little shrub right there.
Yeah, I've got them in propagation. I should have them available eventually.
I can actually smell those flowers. There's only a couple of them and I can actually smell them.
The fruit's delicious.
And this isn't the privet stopper, the Ligostrina. This is different.
Right. The Ligostrinas are over in the corner.
Show you those two really quick. I've never tasted this one.
That one's better than the Ligostrina.
Yeah, that's the Ligostrina right there, and there's another one right there.
That fruits a lot though. The Ligostrina is easier to grow.
Both of these would be amazing bonsai plants that feed you too.
Yeah.
Those are really cool. Tons of cool foliage in here.
That's
Just all over
I
the
think.
Broncomel.
Maybe.
Potentially.
We'll find out, right? I don't know what else, man. We got some sapodillers. We got some lemon drop mangostines.
Lots of butterscotches, right?
Butterscotches. I got them for sale.
If you're looking for a nice sized butterscotch sapodilla,
Look at this. This is a variegated lemon drop mangosteen. It needs to be trimmed back.
check that one out.
Yeah, I've tried to graft it and not had much success. I've got one that took actually over here.
This thing's got to be getting almost fruiting size too.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's like all white there. That's beautiful. I must say, you get lucky with the variegated.
I just think it's a numbers game.
Yeah, you do plant more a
You gotta
lot.
plant a shitload of seeds.
But I've seen a lot of variegated stuff here. It's awesome.
Put that on eBay. See, this is a scion I took from the mother tree, and the pattern holds up much nicer. But you are gonna have to trim this off right here. See this part? This is all got to get cut off.
So whenever it reverts back to normal, like this is okay, it's still variegated, but some of this stuff right here, you would want to prune it.
Yeah, and even this I would maybe prune. I would see the next part, but it's cool because the stem will get a candy cane. Like it's doing it right there, like a little bit of that candy caning going on, man. That's what we call candy cane.
Yeah, but that is absolutely just beautiful.
Yeah, the foliage.
One of the nicest foliages I've seen.
Cool bean.
It's already so tropical looking, so ornamental. This is a regular one grafted in the ground here. But whenever you see it variegated, it's just like, wow.
That thing's root down.
Dude, this Pickering mango took off.
Yeah, it did.
Holy crap. That thing got big quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna plant that in the ground. I don't know what else I need to talk about, but I will.
What, let me see. So what makes a lot of these fruits special? Why do you choose to grow these and, you know, not citrus or banana or, you know, just something like that?
I grow them just because I like the way they grow and like, you know, how the fruit grows on the bark. I just saw that and I liked it. And then I didn't realize there was all these varieties. And then I just got obsessed with it that way. Where like, I like the Jaboticaba a lot. And they're a slow growing tree. You keep it in a pot for a long time.
Strong tree, really pretty frost resistant compared to a lot of stuff here.
You just need to water it a lot.
Yeah,
Like, other
it
than
needs
that,
a lot of water.
Once you get it watered a lot and you have it in the right space, the worst thing you can do is overfeed it. Too much nitrogen will kill them. So I get along with the trees really well. You know what I mean?
Ship easy.
Yeah, I like dragon fruit or pineapples are like, I don't like them. The way they grow and how they do, the thorns and just the way they behave, I don't get along with that. But these I get along with. They're really, they just kind of stay the same forever. And then one day they finally fruit. And they grow, I like the pace that they grow at. Some are faster than others. And the fruits are just like little candies, you know? they're not gonna like make you full, but they're nice to have around.
There's
And
certain good nutrients, certain medicinal qualities.
that's the other thing, yeah.
Good, really good fresh, but you can make a lot of stuff with it. Kombucha, wine, jam.
Juice. I love
Juice,
the juice,
you know.
man. Oh, freeze dried is good too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling these ones out. These don't like the cold. This one's really rare. This is a Plinia clausa, some CLAUSA, and I grafted it onto Cambuca, and I'm pretty sure no one else had ever grafted that. That's the first one that was ever grafted. But I'd love to fruit it. The fruit's really big. Looks like it has fire ants on it, unfortunately.
It doesn't look like a Jaboticaba really at all. It's crazy.
You can graft the Cambuca onto Sabra, which is crazy. I think there's fire ants on that thing.
This is like the coolest one I've ever seen.
Hard to grow, yeah. Yasuni.
It's
That's
really
another reason why Jaboticabas are so cool to me, because honestly, anywhere you live in the whole world, even if you lived in Alaska, you could have a little setup where, you know, you're growing this fruit tree that's tropical, but whenever it snows or gets cold, you can pull it inside because you have it in a container. And the trees can fruit in a container for several years, like, and there's all types of little greenhouses people are building. Like, even if you live in an apartment, you know, if you have a balcony, you can grow these fruit trees
Up
and
north, man, like in Ohio,
get food.
They grow lemon trees up there. This is equivalent to growing a lemon. It just needs a little more water and humidity, probably.
People would be really surprised at what you could pull off in a container, and it's really a nice, healthy hobby.
I like the Garcinias a lot too, because you can't ever find them at the store. And they just taste good, you know? That's the other reason I grow a lot of these, is just to be able to taste them. You know, a lot of them you would have to travel across the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're someone like me who can't travel because you have to stay home and work and take care of the plants, and I don't even really want to travel, but I feel like I can go taste the world and go other places without even having to leave the house.
Yeah.
This place, people come and they're like, this is reminding me of Brazil.
No, it's true. If you want to taste most of these fruits you've never heard of, you're gonna have to grow them yourself, because you can't go to the grocery store and buy it, and you'll never be able to do that.
Yeah, man, we took a piece of Brazil and we brought it here, so now I don't have to go there.
Took lots of pieces from Brazil.
Yeah, I like Brazil's flora and fauna, but I think Australia and Africa have some cool stuff. So we'll see.
Well, it's looking really good in here. You got tons of diversity.
Yeah, of the same genus, Plinia and Myrciaria. Mulberries, persimmon.
Yeah, you got like 4 or 5 varieties of persimmon, right?
Yeah, I sold. I did. They have very little input for those trees, and I sold a bunch of fruit this year.
And you probably got 4
Mosquito.
varieties.
Got it.
4 varieties of mulberry too, at least.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. I never sold the fruit on them unless it was freeze dried. Fresh. I sold it fresh. So,
Adam
yeah.
hooked me up with the mulberries. That's one of the first fruit trees I ever grew that I got food from.
Yeah.
Rapid abundance.
Jovialis hybrids do real well. Those are those big bushy things on the left.
The
Tropical
Dovialis.
apricot. I
It's
got
like a
that
little
one.
peach.
Yep.
Really good. Lemon guavas in the ground. A lot of Pitanga tubas. And this looks crazy, but this cage right here with all the weeds in it is actually going to be really nice in the winter, because that plant that's in there is insulated from the cold.
A little bit. It'll be better than by itself, but there's a beautiful tree in there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's covered with weeds, and I'm not going to prune it until the winter's gone. It'll definitely keep humidity in and a little bit of heat. Just enough.
Well, we're getting pretty destroyed by mosquitoes.
Yeah, we're getting worked.
I'm sure the camera footage is a little shaky. This
Yeah.
is a really cool one. Can I tell them about this one, Adam?
Yeah, it's one called Carlos, and it's just, I got it from a guy named Carlos in Brazil. He sent me the seeds, and he asked me to identify it. I couldn't tell what it was, and I grew it for a long time. It grows really slow.
Look how big that thing is.
It's
and it's like
literally-
8 or 10 years old, right?
Easy. It's
Yeah.
literally the same as Grimmel,
Mm-hmm.
but the skin is a little thinner. And it
So he's saying the fruit is very similar to Grimmel, but look at that foliage. It's a lot more pointy.
It's
Very-
longer. It's from the same genetics as Grimmel, but it's a different seedling other than, see, Grimmel brought that probably the same variety to United States, but
Mhm.
he just brought one seedling.
And it was a different mother, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the mother, there's so much variation.
Yeah, and that could just totally be another just variety of that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sub variety, but it grows very slow, extremely slow. But it is just like the Grummel. The flavor was just like Grummel.
This is a nice ESALQ tree. And a lot of the times I'm here too, this one has flowers and fruits on it. I would say it fruits multiple times a year.
Plinia rivularis. This is the first one to fruit in the United States, and I just got one fruit. It's really good. It doesn't like the heat too much. It can take a lot of water. It doesn't like a high pH. It likes low pH. Plinia rivularis.
That one's in a big pot, huh?
Yeah, it's called Guyabaju. I'm gonna plant it back out. I had it planted in a spot that was too hot, right near the house, and it was getting reflective heat off the house.
These are Montingas right here. This one actually makes a funky pink one. Pretty sure Adam crossed it.
Maybe by accident. Oh no, I did on purpose. Yeah.
And then this is just the yellow one here. He's got a bunch of these around. He's honestly really responsible for getting a lot of fruits like this out there in the hands of like agri-starts and stuff. And if you're growing this, chances are you're growing this because Adam literally spread it around there.
Yeah, the white jade pineapple, I got that from a friend and brought it to agri-starts, and I get paid a little royalty on that.
A lot of figs too, I know.
Violet de Bardaloo. Yeah. And then Cadota. There's a list, yeah.
All right, but
thank you.
We might walk around a little bit more, but that's probably it.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
really
for
glad
sure.
to have them. They're great people.
Thanks for letting me and Andrea come out here and work all the time and collect all these awesome fruits, bro.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a little place you could stay.
Thanks for promoting them and
yeah.
talking about them, and really you got me into all this.
Nice.
Like, so you really lit the fire for me, and I know you've done that for a ton of other people. And we were just talking about how if you're growing this fruit tree right here, chances are it's probably because of him. Well, since Adam's lighting all these fires under other people, these people are doing the same thing. Now we're spreading all types of fruit trees, and this guy's behind a lot of it, in my opinion.
Thanks a lot. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, thank you, bro. That's what we're trying to make. With the silver. Turn it into a pendant, or it's just a cool coin. This will be our 4th attempt right here.
Yeah, that's melted down.
Yeah, it's a liquid already. I gotta get ready. Gotta get ready. Attempt number 4.
Right. You're gonna get it right, yeah. Let's just let it cool, wait for it to cake over. There it goes, caking over. There it goes.
Is that stuff at the top silver?
Nah, it would have melted down. That's gotta be flux. No, the silver's too heavy to have stayed there. Stuck in there the more you... Oh, there it goes. Remember, not too hard, but hard.
I think that was it right there.
Yeah, that looks good. Dang, there's still beads in my lid.
Just tapped it once. Nothing coming out of there?
Maybe it's flush.
Oh, I see it right there. Look at that chunk. It's a nice piece of silver, Bo.
I can't get these pieces out.
A little silver nugget in there.
These pieces won't come out. I can heat them back up and make them fall out. You guys see that map, guys?
Mm-hmm. Here you go. I can touch it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Do I have to knock that stuff off there?
Yeah, you gotta polish it off with like steel wool.
Yeah. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
That's a nice one. And then he just got...
That's it.
Think it's okay? Once I scrub it off? We just got this piece of little silver out of there too.
Maybe not. It looks good, but it's hard to say.
I think it's cool either way, even if I didn't do a good job.
It looks very clean because the ring's on the edge, but you gotta get the, what's it called off? That shit. I forget what they call it.
Flux?
Yeah.
Is that the flux?